Hi, today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about reading for pleasure. I know that there's a lot of expectation placed on all of us for COVID-19, especially with having children at home, and if you have work that you're trying to do from home. And so many times we can spend so much time doing that work that we forget that it's okay to just take time to do something we enjoy. So I want to talk to you about reading for pleasure and the benefits that you can find from that. And it's not only important for your children to read for pleasure and for you to read to them, but also for yourself. So if there's a stack of books that you've been saying you were going to read, then definitely pick up one of those books. And you always say, I'm going to read a novel in the summer because I don't ever have time during the school year. Just find time every day to just sit down, and even if it's just reading for 10 minutes, and everybody stop for 10 minutes. But first of all, I just want to talk about the benefits of reading for pleasure. And so whenever you read for pleasure, it's kind of an escape. It lets you take the stress away for the day, and you can kind of, if you read a novel, you can kind of get caught up in somebody else's world. Maybe you like to read self-help books, and so you could read a chapter a day, and maybe even just read a chapter a week, and just kind of let that process through how you might use that in your life. So whatever kind of reading you want to do, then do that. You know, you don't just have to read about the subject matter that you're for your work or for your children's schoolwork, but find something that means something to you, and encourage your students to do the same. Encourage your children to do the same thing. And so some of the benefits, not only of calming and having an escape, is that it also increases our vocabulary. It builds our longevity of focus. It helps us to, whenever we read with our children, even if we're side by side reading, it's a bonding time. We're all doing something at the same time. And so it's just one of those tools that you can use. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have children write a book report. You don't have to have them tell you the moral of the story or to summarize it for you. Just let them read, because that's what they want to do. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what things you can do in your home to make sure that reading is accessible for them. So one of the things that I like to do is I have a section in my house where I have my books. And so I no longer have children who live with me, but I do have grandchildren who love to come to my book section. And so they can come, they can find some Dr. Seuss. So this is all at their ability level. So, you know, it's about Easter time. So we have stories about Easter. We have stories that are the Dr. Seuss books. And many of these books were books that my own children read. Maybe they just want to build their knowledge. Maybe they want to pull this one out and do some science experiments. And so that's still reading for pleasure, building our knowledge. Maybe my children loved these because they could learn about animals, and they just love to do that. They love to get out the jigsaw puzzle book. So there's just a lot of things that they can do to just develop some reading habits. And so if you just keep these where they're at their level, make sure that they are at their level to see, but also at their level of reading. And so just make sure that you may have some that are above their level, but it's something perhaps that you're going to read to them. So it's just important that you keep things accessible.
I like reading on CT's iPad.
What do you read on my iPad?
Books.
Well, how do you read books on my iPad? What do you get on?
We get on the story reading one. CT, look.
Mm-hmm. I see that. Do you get on Istation and read?
Mm-hmm.
Do you log in all by yourself?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cool. And so you get to listen to whatever book you want to listen to?
Yeah, bye-bye.
Finding books might be a challenge. So one of the things that I do love about Istation is that we have books on our app. And so if you click on the books icon, then you can go in and you can do is you can check with the library where your child goes to school. I know that the district where I live, they have a doghouse, and so that's what they call their library source. And so they can go into the doghouse and they can find books with Sora. They can go to Tumble Books. They can also take their AR test. Okay, so I have a question for you. Do you love reading?
Yes.
What do you love about reading?
AR books.
You love AR books? Do you get to pick out your own AR books?
Mm-hmm.
Is that your favorite thing to do?
Yes.
But wherever you live, I'm sure that there's a library there that you can access where you can log in and you can find books available to you. And so some of the books on the doghouse for our district are available just for them, and then some of them are available for anyone. And so just go in and find something, you might even just search libraries, but find some books that your children can access. There's, I think there's one that's called Epic, and I think there's also one that's called Overdrive. There's the Open Library. There's a lot of different resources that you have available to you. So I hope that you found this useful, and I hope that you will catch that reading wave and that you will enjoy this time that you have to just slow down and spend some time catching up on a good book.